Welcome to this explainer on the architecture of microhabits. I'm seriously so excited to guide you through this today because we're going to map out exactly how you can achieve massive, sustainable growth without that usual crushing burnout that always seems to follow failed resolutions. You know the feeling. We are literally throwing out the old playbook of grueling discipline and we're replacing it with a strategic, brilliantly simple approach to human behavior. Okay, let's dive into this. It's a question we've all wrestled with at some point. Why does the urge for total transformation usually end in failure? I mean, we all know the feeling intimately, right? Waking up on a random Monday morning, or maybe January 1st, and passionately deciding we're going to change our entire lifestyle all at once. We're going to eat perfectly, work out every single day, read a book a week. It feels incredible in the moment. It's super motivating. But we really need to ask ourselves why that exact urge fundamentally opposes actual lasting growth. So that brings us to section 1, the urge for total transformation, or as the research points out, the trap of overwhelming change. The core problem here with total transformation is the immense burden we place on ourselves. It's kind of like strapping a giant heavy boulder to your back and then trying to sprint up a mountain. It's a trap, simply because the sheer weight of those expectations makes the journey completely unsustainable. Your willpower depletes super fast, and then you crash. And this brilliantly illustrates the stark juxtaposition between our two options here. On one side, we've got total transformation. It's overwhelming, heavy, exhausting. It demands maximum energy from a brain that frankly just wants to conserve energy. But on the flip side, we have sustainable growth. Now, this path is built entirely on minimalist daily routines. It grows naturally, almost effortlessly, kind of like a plant. It completely shifts the paradigm from how much can I force myself to endure to what can I easily sustain. Which leads us directly into section 2, the architecture of microhabits and the science of minimalist routines. You can almost feel a physical sense of relief just thinking about this approach, can't you? By adopting minimalist daily routines, we elegantly and completely bypass that toxic urge for total transformation. We drop the heavy boulder. Instead, we're going to focus our energy on something much smarter, much smaller, and scientifically proven to endure over the long haul. So here is the foundational definition we really need to burn into our memories. A microhabit is an attainable action requiring almost no effort to complete. The absolutely crucial point is that exact phrase right there, almost no effort. The real secret to designing a highly effective microhabit isn't about pushing your limits or testing your grit. Actually, scratch that, it's the exact opposite. It's about keeping the required effort as remarkably close to zero as humanly possible. If it feels like work or if it requires a pep talk, it is simply too big. Now, what's really interesting about this is how we get to section 3, rewiring neurological loops and bypassing the brain's resistance. To understand why these impossibly small actions actually work, while massive overhauls trigger that huge, self-sabotaging pushback, we can break this down into 3 distinct steps. I want you to think of the human brain as a slightly anxious character. When you hand this character a huge task, it gets scared, right? It digs its heels in and resists just to protect its energy. But step 1 changes the game entirely. You provide an attainable action. Because the effort is reduced to near zero, the brain doesn't get scared at all. It easily completes the task, which instantly moves us to step 2, establish neurological loop. Because that action was so painless, the brain eagerly encodes this behavior, paving a clear, smooth path right to step 3, consistent victory. You bypass the resistance completely, no willpower required. Let's ground this theory in some incredibly concrete examples right from the source material. Just take a look at these attainable actions. Reading a single page, drinking 1 glass of water. That is literally all it takes. Just imagine trying to commit to reading 50 pages a day. You might last until Thursday if you're lucky. But reading a single page, your brain can do that every single day without breaking a sweat, even when you're completely exhausted. Long-term success is built purely on a rock-solid foundation of these tiny, consistent victories that just compound over time. Let's move to our final section and see how this builds into section 4, your next impossibly small step, moving to practical application. So we've mapped out the theory, we understand the biology, and we definitely know the psychological traps. But knowing is only half the battle, right? Now it's time to transition from being a passive learner to taking immediate, low-stakes, practical action in your own life. Think of me as your supportive coach right now. Please, do not try to change everything at once today. You've seen the science, and you know the trap of overwhelming change. Our friendly brain mascot here is holding up the perfect sign, start small. It's a great reminder that your brain is ready and eager to build a new loop right now, today, but only if you keep that barrier to entry extremely low. Honor the architecture. So I leave you with this final vital reflection question. What is one impossibly small habit you want to start today? Is it placing a book on your pillow, pouring just a single glass of water before bed, doing exactly one push-up? Decide right now. Your brain is perfectly primed to establish a new neurological loop, and your sustainable growth begins with that single, almost effortless step. What will yours be? See you next time.